Hi everyone, welcome back to the Self-Sufficient Homestead. I am Tanya Milan, and today we are not on location in Limpopo. We are somewhere in the Langkloof and we are visiting somebody's farm and to see how they are preventing monkeys and baboons getting into their vegetable garden. Let's go look what genius plan this family made. So we're going to go to this enclosure that they've built to keep the baboons and the monkeys out, which I think was really well done. And I'll show you all the things or the principles they followed to make this a very safe space for their vegetables. If you look that side, you will see a big net house. I'm going to show you every little point that really stood out for me, but we'll start on the outside and just walk around here as well so you can see more of it. So if you look at this, there's a net structure that is anchored in the bottom all the way to the top and it's enclosed. So let's go inside and see exactly what they've done. So first and foremost, here is a door. The doorway. There is a door here because we still have to keep the baboons out. But something that's very critical is we have to be able to allow the pollinators in. Now this is where movement on the farm is important, because at times when they are all around on the farm, they would just leave this door open so the pollinators can come in and out. Obviously, when nobody's around, they close this door. Now, here we have like a little roof, and I think this is just for them to be able to work when the sun is really hot or it's raining, and they've got a place they can work. You can see they are putting down seeds to dry out. They've got a little nursery there with their plants that are planted in bags, etc. So this is a nice little space if you don't want to work in direct sunlight or rain. But if you have a look over this net house, what we see is support beams. Now these support beams are all around the side of the net house and in the center. Before we look at how they've done this, we need to see how they've secured it on the sides. If you have a look there, there's a beam with net wrapped around and bolted to the wall. Also on the side here, they've got a beam. The net is behind this beam. As for the poles, we don't see what it should look like on the outside here because this is just a bordering net house for the fruit. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's walk all the way to there and see what they have done. Here was some original structure. This was a camp and they were planting here to keep the cattle and the goats and the sheep out. But this proved to be a really nice add-on to this tented house because it just secures it so much more. You will see that there is a straight wire here and there and at the bottom, and then you've got the mesh behind it. So that just gives it some extra security, which is a good thing. And then behind it, we have our net, and the net is actually being turned underneath and soil thrown on top. So it's quite a bit of net underneath, probably about nearly a meter of net with soil on top. So the baboons cannot dig under it. They give up before they get there. There's much easier food to find if it's closed like this. And over here, we can clearly see that they took pieces of net and they sewn it together. And you can see the stitch that they used. Used normal bale rope, and it is very well put together. So basically, we've determined that they have folded in the net at the bottom. They have sewn it together so it's one big piece. They've got some infrastructure that was here that they used to their advantage. But now let's go to the support system of this whole net house. Throughout this whole net house, every 5 meters they have a tar pole like this on the borders of the net house as well as on the inside. On the inside we've got one every 5 meters as well, which supports the structure perfectly. Now it's not enough just to have the upright poles in the net house because the net could possibly tear on the top, so we need other ways to support it. And this is what they also did very well. They have blocks that they have cut and they've secured them with screws. And these blocks allow these droppers or wood droppers, whatever you want to call them, thinner wood poles to rest upon them. They are also secured onto the support blocks with screws so they cannot fall off. And I think this is the secret to a really good net house. I have seen net houses before that the people only use uprights and maybe wire. Wire does not work here because it's so big, you need a proper structure. And this is what made the difference. Now, this is a bit off topic, but something that impresses me about this garden a lot is their raised beds. Look at what they've used. They've repurposed shipping crates. Man, I wish I could find some shipping crates. They've actually put some plastic in here and put some compost and soil in here, and this is working beautifully. They've also used some poles that they cut in half, which also works perfectly fine. I've often seen people make raised beds with pallet wood, but it rots so quickly. But this seems to be a really great idea because it's a thick piece of wood that will last long. Another method that they also use, which is pretty easy, it's not so appealing to the eye, but it's very effective. So they've taken old zinc, put in droppers by the side, let the zinc stand up straight, put in their plastic and their soil and their compost, and they are actually growing vegetables in this too. Now in my garden, you would not see these tomatoes because the moment they slightly change color, they don't even have to change a lot of color. It just has to be slightly yellow. The monkeys come, they pick them off, they take one bite, they scatter them. They take the beetroot, they pull it out, take one bite, and I find it in the felt. Carrots, they take out and throw on heaps. They don't even eat it. It's just fun to take it out. So this is the reward of having a really good net house to plant your things in. I mean, there's probably about 200 tomatoes just in this row. So in the end of the day, is it worth it to try and secure a garden against these pests? And we can argue they're probably not pests because they're part of nature. And personally, I don't have a problem to share with nature. But if nature comes and takes everything and whatever is left after everything, destroy it, then I have a problem. This will cost you some money, definitely will, but think of what you will get back over the next few years from this net house that you've built. Another thing that catches my attention, can grow plants that go up that make vines. There is just some straight wires here. Can you see it? And this grenadella, or it actually looks like a pepino melon. Oh, this is the pepino melon. And this is a grenadella. It's just going all the way up here by the roof and finding space to attach itself to. And this will result in a type of hanging garden without, I think, them intending it like that. So this is a great added bonus. So this is where it gets exciting, because vegetables, yes, we're all happy when we get vegetables that are protected against monkeys. But what about fruit? So many people tell me they don't get any fruit in their garden. If it's not the monkeys, it's the baboons. If it's not the baboons, it's the birds. So in here, it's protected against monkeys, baboons, birds, the works. Let's go in. If you have a look up here, can you see all the peaches in the tree? A lot has been harvested already, and you'll see on the ground even there's peaches lying around. Here we have some apples. You would see none of this if there was monkeys, baboons, and you'll see some of it if you have birds. We even at the end of this net tunnel, there's grapes, there's figs, there's so many different fruit trees, and it's such a joy to have it. So have a look at this. Figs, up there are grapes. This is the reward of putting up a really good net tunnel. We have to go. There's lightning, thunder, rain. But if you found value in this video, please like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Guys, have a lovely day. Bye.